Madam, a few weeks ago in the national capital, a farmer from Tamil Nadu tried to commit suicide. A few weeks before that, groups of farmers from that state, to demonstrate their own suffering, held skulls of farmers that, भैया या मैं बोल दूं या आप बोल दें?
Please, please, please. क्या है? बैठो. आप बोलिए ना, क्या हो गया? I have allowed you. You did not say see here and there. You can talk to chair only.
Madam,
yes.
A few weeks before that,
yes.
Groups of farmers held skulls of farmers who had committed suicide in that same state to show their misery. On the 19th of July, the State Assembly of Tamil Nadu accorded to itself a pay rise of 200%. Without imputing any motive to this, it sent a broad message of insensitivity, ma'am. Madam, in the first cabinet meeting of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru in 1952 after winning the election, the cabinet took a unanimous decision to not avail of their salaries for 3 months in light of the economic sufferings of the people at the time. We had members of the Constituent Assembly like Shri Bishwanath Das from Odisha, who chose to draw only 25 rupees a day as against 45 rupees which they were entitled to show their sensitivity to the period. V.I. Muniswamy Pillai in 1949 in the Madras Assembly imposed a voluntary cut of 5 rupees per DM against, in recognition of the suffering of the farmers, and the Madras Assembly unanimously passed the motion. Madam, in the Parliament of the United Kingdom, on which this is loosely based, there is a model of an independent authority which is called the Review Body on Senior Salaries, which is a body consisting of non-parliament members and non-politicians, academics, jurists, social welfare activists, etc., which takes into account the recommendations of both the beneficiary, that is the members of parliament, and the public. It takes into account the affordability and the validity of these claims, and then rules and requests the government for such. Madam, such a mechanism does not exist in our country, sadly. Madam, arrogating to ourselves the authority to increase our own fiscal compensation is not in line with the moral foundations of our democracy. Gandhiji wrote, and I quote, that in my opinion, the allowances should be exactly in consonance with the proportion of the services rendered to the nation. Madam, in the last decade, parliamentarians have increased or have requested, and it has been sought, an increase of 400% in the increase of our own compensation. Have we really earned this massive increment, Madam? I just want to make 3 points, ma'am. One, 50% of the bills in the last 15 years of this parliament that have been passed, 50% of the bills have not been referred to serious parliamentary committee deliberation, which in fact, madam, means that the rush to pass bills shows a priority for politics and not policy. Because, ma'am, this house has been created itself to dissect, analyze. Madam, just a minute more.
In dissect, 0 hour, only 1 point.
Just a minute more.
Exactly
Just a minute. Yes. Dissect, analyze, and deliberate, and then pass on policy making. Madam, 41% of bills have been passed without discussion in the last 15 years.
So what?
Madam, there are those who say that MPs should be paid in line with the private sector. Madam, the private sector's only motive, or largely only motive, is self-interest and profit. We are committed to the ideals of our forefathers. We are committed to make this the India of our dreams. Ours is a service to the nation, ma'am. Madam, without taking up any issues of MPs' behavior, performance, nothing like that, taking cash for asking questions, cash votes, I don't want to refer to that. I just want to make one last point, madam, which is whether it is sitting for a low number of sittings, whether it is the constant chaos that we preside over. Lastly, madam, I want to suggest that we create an external body, which could be a statutory body, which presides over our compensation package, or if we self-regulate, madam, we should empathetically do so.
Okay, thank
and
you.
looking at the condition of the country, forego any increase in compensation for the rest of this 16th
You
Parliament.
want a
Thank you, Madam.
statutory body, that's okay.